Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey Mal, how are you?
I'm good. How are
Hey,
you?
how you doing?
Hey
Happy
Dario.
Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Well,
Absolutely.
we are here. Welcome to the Live the Movie Crew weekly team hangout. We're going to be reviewing the seventh mandate of the eight mandates of personal leadership. I'm really excited about this one because we get to hear about missions and what's the importance of having a mission? How do you go after your mission? And what kind of mission is important to have. So I'm really excited to hear from Eric about this one. And if you're just watching this for the first time, just have fun watching and learn a ton because these are like-minded people who all have really passionate missions in their life. And I think that everything that Eric is about to share there's something in what he's about to share that's going to help you. So Eric, if you want to take over.
Cool. Thanks Mal for that introduction. And I'm excited to be here as well. We're actually in West Palm Beach, Florida. We're trying to be snowbirds for the winter, so we escaped the snow. We're from Boston, and we've been down here in Florida, and we'll be to the end of the month, and then we're going to South Carolina for February. So pretty exciting. And Mal, welcome to those of you that are here for the first time. But if anyone's here and don't know why they're here, it's probably because you follow either myself or one of the other leaders on Facebook or Instagram or possibly their email list, and you want to hear about the topic tonight. How to create a mission, what is a mission, and how to follow through on its achievement. And then also you want to hear about what our team's about, what we stand for, and what we do. So I'm going to go first talking. Mal's running the call, but I'm going to go first sharing what my mission is and how this opportunity relates to it. And then after that, Mal's going to take back over and give some of our panel members a chance to share what their mission is and how this fits into it. So we got one more person on. How are you, Anne-Marie?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Doing fantastic. So Anne-Marie, I'm going to share for a little bit, so if you want to mute yourself out, and then Mallory will give you a chance to share some ideas in a few minutes. So, so as far as mission, when I talk about mission, I'm talking about more about like who are you, what do you stand for, and what do you want to contribute in your life. A lot of people talk about vision or mission, and they say, I want to, have a billion-dollar company, or I want to win a Stanley Cup, or something like that. And those are all great visions for your company or sports or whatever you're doing, but I'm talking about setting up your life so that no matter what you're doing, no matter what company you're representing, no matter what you're doing, you're always doing what it is that your mission is. So for me, my mission, both in this online opportunity and my books and coaching and things like that, is that I want to help people establish the belief that everything they need to succeed in life and anything they're doing is already inside of them. Many of you guys know the quote of mine that I say most often is, "You are always the answer." You're always the answer. Now you might have to, have a mentor to be able to achieve a goal and a certain opportunity. You might need to get resources like money or different things like that, but you're the one that takes the action to be able to do those things. No one can do it for you. No one can take responsibility for what's happening in your life. Yeah, someone might have done something to you that was totally unjust, but only you can make the decision to actually change that and make a difference. So when you say you're always the answer, that gives you the power to change anything that's happening, and that's my mission, is to help people do that. And one of the ways I talk about that is I talk about making the whole process a lot more fun. So you guys heard Mallory say when we kicked off the call here that my slogan is Live the Movie, and our team name is the Live the Movie Crew. So you think of like a crew set for a movie, like the crew of the people that make the movie and put it all together. And where that comes about is, when I first started learning about personal development, I heard that concept of look at challenges as opportunities. And although that intellectually made sense to me, I said, yeah, but there were certain things I wish just, wouldn't happen. Challenges I wish I could have avoided. And obviously that's not how life works. You learn lessons like we talked about last week, and you grow from those experiences. But for me, I said, how can I create a metaphor or an analogy that makes the process way more fun? That when you go through a challenge, you fight through it because you're thinking about something else. You're not just thinking about, I was here and I had a challenge, so now I'm here and now I'm trying to get back to here. You think about the bigger picture. And I thought about, many of you guys I'm sure like story-based movies, the sports movie, the comeback movie, the love story, the things like that. And they all have a similar theme. And the theme is that the main character, whoever they are, have a particular goal that they want to achieve. And they think when they achieve it that that's going to be ultimate happiness or that's going to validate who they are. And they go out in pursuit of that. And partway through the movie, it looks like they're going to achieve whatever that goal is, right? They're right there. They're dating the girl or the boy. The sports team's in first place. The superhero looks like he's going to take down the villain. And then something happens, and the whole thing goes away. The girl breaks up with the boy. The villain takes over, and the hero's, on some other planet and can't get back to save everybody. The sports team goes on a losing streak, or if it's one game, they're losing, and it doesn't look like they're going to come back. But the people watching in the movie theater, watching this movie, it's in those moments that the audience becomes inspired. They become inspired by the team that doesn't give up, the guy or the girl that goes back after that person because they want to really fall in love with them, but they're not doing it to validate who they are. They're doing it because they love that person. It's an extension of who they are. And that whole concept really resonated with me. So when I go through challenges, I think about, well, the only way I can, tell other people that they're the answer for themselves is if I'm the answer for myself by taking responsibility and following my own mission. And when challenges, happen, I fight through it because I say I have to be living my mission too. And if I act as if people are actually watching my movie, watching my life as if it was a movie, and people are in the movie theater saying, oh, geez, what, is Eric going to give up? This is a tough one. Is he going to fight through it? And my example that I set allows other people to actually, do the same thing. When people can see someone that they can relate to following through, not giving up, fighting through, it gives them the belief that they could do it too. So that's where, my mission is all about you're always the answer, and I relate it to a tagline and the slogan. So the Live the Movie and the Live the Movie crew is ultimately those are the things I stand for. So you can whittle it down to 2 or 3 things just so that if someone say, what are you all about? What have you learned? What's the biggest concept that you actually learned from all this money you've spent going to courses and seminars and books and all that? And that's really it, is that it's all about you and you taking responsibility and you saying where you're going to go. And obviously you need mentors and help along the way. That's why we have a group like this and stuff like that. But, that's really what it comes down to. And, for those of you watching that might not be a part of our team yet, that's why we have these meetings. That's why we have a team, is because, we're in a situation where, we're trying to be that for each other. We're trying to give an environment where we can learn from each other, but we also can be not just the accountability, but we can be a part of everyone else's movie and see that whole process going through and helping each other. And, because of that, one of the things that I actually, I learned this, but I was reminded of it by Mallory on the panel here, is she was actually watching one of the videos in the products for our company, Empower Network, and she was watching a video of David Wood, who's the owner of Empower Network. And one of the things that he said is, one of the reasons most people don't ever really fulfill a big vision is because they don't actually create a vision that's big enough to include other people's vision in it. You know what I mean? So if your vision, your ultimate vision, right, was to, make enough money to pay your bills, right? Well, that doesn't fit anyone else's vision inside of that, right? So if you think about like Dave Wood's vision for Empower, his vision is to empower people. That's the name of the company. But his vision just with the company is to create 100 millionaires a year. That's the big vision, right? What would have to happen for that to happen? They have to do billions of dollars a year in sales. But although you get 100 new millionaires a year, how many people are making 100,000? How many people are making 10,000? How many people are making 5,000? And people have different goals, and see people follow him and follow the company because everyone's vision can fit some part within that. And if you think about what the mission that I have for my life and the tagline in our group is, whatever mission or vision that you guys have for what you're doing, that's a part of it, right? So anything that you do is all about, taking responsibility, saying that you're the answer, and living your movie, as best you can, and having all of us along the way to participate, in that process. And that's why I get so excited. Obviously being a part of an opportunity like this, there's the making money side of it. But for me, this is the exciting part. These hangouts, helping people, seeing people post cool things, sharing their story, being willing to be vulnerable, putting themselves out there. That's what life's all about, because you also never know. Who you're actually impacting. So I'm going to share a quick story, and then I'll let Mallory take over, like I mentioned. So I actually got an email 3 days ago, right? And it was from this woman who's been on my email list since March, I think. So she's been opening my emails for the longest time. And sometimes when you have the number of followers I have and the size email list I have, sometimes you get people that message you, and they're kind of asking you for things like, help me with my business or give me money or stuff. And that, obviously I don't respond to things like that when someone's asking for something like that, without engaging with the opportunity. But this person wrote me a really long letter. But they weren't asking for anything other than my advice. And I actually read it out loud to my wife, and she actually started bawling, crying, reading this lady's email. And what she was saying is that she said, I've been following you for a long time. You're a true inspiration to me. I love your book. I love your concept of what you're talking about. I really love it. And she's like, I don't know why I'm sharing this whole story with you, but I have no one else to share it with. And she told me this whole story. Basically, her kids had gone through some physical and mental challenges, and it had really been a burden on her. And she started gaining tons of weight and was kind of depressed. And she was actually at the point where she had to take a leave of absence from her work. She's actually French and from Paris, and her doctor said, if you don't take a leave of absence, you're not gonna make it. So she did that. She went on disability, and over the course of the next year, she lost 140 pounds. But in that process, she also started learning about the law of attraction, started learning about personal development, started learning about all these concepts, and she practiced gratitude every day. And she started doing all these things that we talk about here in our group. The reason she was messaging me is she had lost 140 pounds and done all this stuff, and she had actually decided to leave Paris and come to the United States to help her kids pursue their dreams of being actors and actresses. So they moved to Hollywood, and she started living off the savings that she had and wanted to see if she could figure out something here in the United States. Well, anyway, her plan didn't work out exactly. She ended up spending a lot of her savings, and she was reaching out to me because she was in a situation where she had to figure out, do I go back to Paris? What do I do? And she was in a really tight bind because she hadn't told her kids that they were in this bind. They thought that she had all this money and all this stuff. And she was saying, what should I do? What should I do? I don't know what to do. And I was thinking about how to respond to this, and because she was in a tough situation. She was going to get evicted from her apartment, and they didn't have any money, and they couldn't even afford to change flights to go back to Paris. And I didn't know exactly how to respond because I don't know even more details about their situation. But basically what I shared with her is I said, first of all, you have to give yourself credit of what you've done in the last year. Like, you've losing 140 pounds and helping your kids change their perspective on life and taking a chance and coming to America. No one can ever take away from you the person you become, and you've become an amazing person in this year. Now, you're going through a real challenge, and you have to be honest about that, and you have to be honest with your kids about what's happening, and you have to come at them with a plan. It might be a terrible plan. They might not like it. They might be mad at you, but you have to have a plan, and you have to execute whatever that plan is. And I said, here's what you really need to do. You need to ask yourself, if I had to make a decision right this moment, what would I do? Because we all know the answer. That's what I said. You're always the answer, and you know deep in your heart what you have to do. You're probably not going to like what your head says to you or what your heart says to you, but you're going to have to trust it, and you're going to take action. And then I shared a vision with her, which is the same as what we talk about all the time. I said, you have such an inspiring story because you took all the concepts that we've learned and you put them into practice. You're just going through a challenge that looks really difficult at the moment, but when you fight through this, I was like, your story is so inspiring, the first part of it, but this is the next act. And I said, you're going to be on stage one day sharing this story of this movie that you're going through, and this is going to be amazing. The first part and the second part is going to be unbelievable. I see you writing a book one day about your experience and how you bounce back from this, and it's a challenge. And I said, but I can't feel bad for you because I know you're going to fight through it. I know you're going to make it happen, and this is going to be the part where you prove who you are by fighting through this challenge. And she actually wrote me back and told me that she was thinking about giving up, but my response actually told her to keep going, and she was going to decide whatever she decided and just go for it. And the reason I share that story with you guys here on the panel and those of you watching is not to impress you that some lady thinks I'm an inspiration, but when you're being yourself, when you're sharing your story, when you're putting yourself out there, you have no idea what you're doing for people. That lady had been following me on my email list since last March for 10 months. She'd been opening all my emails, she'd been reading them, they've been inspiring her, and now she's going through a challenge. She reached out to me, and I gave her some more inspiration that had her keep going, that's going to allow her to be herself, and when she fights through this challenge, she's going to be stronger because of that, and she's going to impact even more people that she'd never be able to impact if she were to give up. And my point being is, when you guys go after your mission, which I know the people on the panel are in the process of doing that, when you go after your mission and you give everything you have towards it, people are going to be drawn to you, and they're going to grow belief in themselves, and you're going to have a situation that, because you didn't give up, because you fight through, because you do what's important to you, you're allowing other people to do the same thing. And I'll share one more quick little tidbit of a story, and then I'll let Mal take over. So we just got here to Palm Beach, Florida, but we were in Delray, Florida for the last 3 or 4 days, and we were actually visiting two of our best friends. So there's a couple, Mike and Jenna was actually worked with Meg and myself at a previous sales opportunity, and then Mike is one of my best friends from college. And every time I see them, I'm always just astounded and full of gratitude and so excited. And you say, well, why are you always in that? Why do you always feel that way? Is, obviously they had to establish a relationship. They met at our wedding, and obviously they did whatever they did to get together. But the point is, there was a point in my life where I wasn't focused on growth, and I wasn't, I was thinking about what am I going to do, and am I going to meet new people? Am I going to, put myself out there and meet new friends, or meet that girlfriend, or meet my potential wife? And I was thinking about, I don't know if this is going to happen, and really down on myself. And because I decided to live the movie and decide that I'm the answer, I actually reached out and found this group of friends, which my friend Mike was a part of. And then after that, I decided to look into an opportunity to grow myself, which was the sales opportunity, which led to meeting Jenna, which led to meeting Meg, who's also my wife. And all of this came from my decision. Although other people played a huge role in it, and I'm not trying to take full responsibility for all these situations, I'm just saying that if I didn't make that decision 7 years ago, like I talk about in the beginning of my book, obviously I wouldn't be married, but that our two friends, they wouldn't be together, and they're in love and having a blast and spending time together. So the interesting thing is, because we can't see what's going to happen in the future, sometimes we hold back and don't take full action. But if you knew what was going to happen in the future, you would just go for it, right? I might write another book related to my story in the future, kind of as like a fictional book, and kind of talk about what if in my deepest, darkest moment that I talk about in the beginning of my book, if a genie just showed up and said, hey, by the way, if you don't give up and you just go for it, here's all the things that are going to happen. He's going to list off all the challenges, all the bad things, and he'd say, are you interested? And I'll be like, I'm not sure. And they say, oh, by the way, you're going to fall in love in the next 5 years. You're going to actually be responsible for this couple being together. You're going to have this company that you're going to start working for, that you're going to learn all these skills, but you're also going to go through a bunch of challenges. Oh, by the way, 40 people from that company will end up in your wedding, be your best friends, will be part of your family, basically, and all this positive stuff that happens. And it's just because of the uncertainty of the road ahead that sometimes we hesitate. But I've embraced the mission that I have, and I know that there will be challenges, but there will be some amazing things, just like how Jen and Mike met, just how I found that sales company, just all those things. There's going to be way more of that in the future, and I'm not going to wait around and see what it is. I'm going to make it happen, and that's what I encourage you guys to do as well. So that's what I got, Mel. I'm fired up. I got to run, but I'll be watching on my phone. But you guys, you can take it over, and obviously, Mel, you can let people share. And then if anyone has any comments about what I shared, they obviously can add that into what they're going to share as well. And I know at the end, Mal has a few reminders and announcements for you guys as well. And then for those of you on our team, I'll be posting in the group tomorrow with some updates as well. So thanks for having me, Mal.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
We'll see ya. I'll talk to you guys real soon.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
So that was great, guys. I love the story about Jenna and Mike because I actually know Jenna's one of my really close friends too, and we met at the sales opportunity that I worked for with Eric too. And it's just a really cool thing that happens when you're not worried about, is somebody going to like me? And it's funny because before that wedding, before Eric and Megan's wedding, before Mike and Jenna ever met, Jenna was concerned about, I want a boyfriend. I've been single for so long. I really want somebody to share my life with. And she's like, I'm just trying too hard. And I said, yeah, fish don't try to swim. They just swim. They just know what they're doing and they just do it. So it's kind of funny to think about it that way. And the moment that we had that conversation the day before their wedding because we had spent the night together at Meg's house the night before. And then she met Mike. So it's really funny how little conversations like that really can affect people and impact people in a positive way. So I love Mike and Jenna's story. I think it's great. And speaking of mission, I want everyone to share their mission on the call, on the panel here. But my mission is just to help other people tap into their creative side to be able to find their passion and live the life that they want to live. I put a post on Facebook today that said, you're not meant to live, pay bills, and die. That's not what we're meant to do. We're meant to live a life of fulfillment and enjoyment and challenges because challenges make us who we are. One of the big challenges that I went through just last year this time was breaking my leg. I've told this story before, but I think it really put in perspective how when you go through day-to-day life and you feel like you're not getting anywhere and you're just kind of grinding your gears, one thing can make all the difference in the world. And when you look at your life from where you are now and you're thinking about, okay, so day to day it doesn't really seem like many things change and it doesn't seem like you're growing as much as you think you are, but then when you look back at your past, everything's different. So it's just really cool to know that any decision that you make today can impact your future in a positive way. And the biggest thing that Eric talks about is, besides you being the answer, is you have to take action with your dreams. So I think the biggest difference between people who are successful and people who are less than successful is just that simple taking action step, because that's the most important thing. So obviously the first step is you want to find a mission, because taking action without knowing what your mission is can also be, set you back a little bit. But it is better to take action, the wrong action, than taking no action at all. But having that mission and having that laser focus on what you want to accomplish in life is what's going to propel you forward. And some of the most successful people don't really know that they're successful until they're right in the middle of it. So there's not really a moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm successful. It's kind of a process. It's just about the journey and the climb, just like Miley Cyrus says. But I really want to talk a little bit specifically about how, and this is what I'm going to have each of you guys on the panel talk about, how this opportunity with Empower Network, the company that we're all affiliated with, has really been the opportunity that's helped me get to where I am today. So with my mission being to help people tap into their creative side and live a life of passion and find their passion and live the life of their dreams, this opportunity gives me a chance to use social media to build my personal brand as an artist, as an entrepreneur, as a freedompreneur, and it just gives me the freedom to work when I want to and really dive into the online world and network marketing. And it's really cool because when you're affiliated with, for those of you that are watching that are not part of Empower Network already, what's cool about being affiliated with this type of company is that the people that are involved with this type of company are really, really, really motivated to work hard. So it's really cool to be a part of that group of people that we're a part of, and even just our small Live the Movie crew that's small right now, but it's growing and growing every week. I love seeing new faces every single week. I just think it's great that we're in this together, and we go through similar challenges depending on when we start with a company. And I think helping each other with those challenges is just going to be better for the whole team. So that is my 2 cents as far as the mission and why this opportunity with Empower Network has really given me a chance to go after my mission on a deeper level. I want you guys to share, whoever's on the panel, Dario, Ethan, if you want to jump in, or Anne-Marie, what is your mission, number one, and how is this opportunity helping you with that mission?
No problem. I can go ahead and say something.
Cool.
So, my mission with this company is really uh, realizing that it is possible to have the freedom that we all want. Like you mentioned earlier, it's life is not all about paying bills and dying, you know. Uh, I really like what my one of my mentors said before. I remember when I just met him, he said, uh, Dario, if you don't have a target in your life, you won't know where you're aiming. And that I will never forget because it made me think on what I really want to do with my life. It made me think on um the opportunities that there is that it could help us to really get to that position and to really enjoy life the way you want to. So I love Empower Network. I think Empower Network, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like any other company that we have here, and the team as well. The team, Eric, Mallory, and everybody else here, it's great, you know. Um, we're not a team that is going to judge you in any way. We're a team that, you know, we've been there before. How when we got started, it's tough, but um, the best part, what I mentioned about last week, is uh, we have the 4 seasons of your life. So it doesn't matter how old you are, you're still gonna go back to the spring. You're still gonna be in that position where you starting something new. You gotta learn. You gotta go through the summer. You gotta go through the winter, through all that stuff, um, because it's part of it. It's part of it. Like Eric said before, it's you know, it's like you live in your movie. It's like you're writing your book. You're gonna have your ups and downs, and I want to share something with you guys as well. I like the quote from Jim Brown. Where is it? It says, "You want to set a goal that is big enough that in the process of achieving it, you become someone worth becoming." So that is the best thing, other than than your goals in your life that you have, is who you become in the process, who you become at the end. Even writing your book, right? Who the person that you finish the book with, you're gonna be a completely different person, and it is possible. Even like somebody that I want to mention is Arnold Schwarzenegger. You guys know who that is, right? Okay. So how did he do it? You know, he did bodybuilding through all his 20s. He became Mr. Olympia through all his 20s. He had it made. He became very successful, and then he went into acting. He became another very successful person in acting. Then he became a governor. He went to the political career. He became successful doing that as well, and then he went into real estate. He became a multimillionaire into real estate. And the secret of what he mentions in his book, I actually have his book. He mentions that he did more reps and sets than anybody else. So meaning he did extra harder work. He did so many other things that many people are not willing to do. They stop in, when it starts hurting or something like that. So um, something else. I have another quote that I like is the distance between your dreams and reality is called action. So I do believe that the only way that you're truly going to achieve all this, your goals and your dreams, is taking action, being productive every day, and and not forgetting the end result that you want. Back to you,
Yeah,
Mallory.
that's great. Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Dario, for sharing. I think it's important to remember that it is the action that you take that's going to set you apart from people that don't succeed. And I love Jim Rohn's quotes, by the way. That's a great quote. And I think it's really cool when you think about the harvest, like you were talking about last week and mentioned today, about the 4 seasons that we go
Right.
through. And no matter where you are, no matter what challenges you've gone through or goals that you've missed or deadlines that you've missed or dreams that you think are not possible any longer, you can always start today. So there's always another spring, there's always another summer, winter, fall that you can go after what you want to go for. So it's never too late. You might as well take action now because you don't know when your last day is going to be.
Yeah, especially online. More people are awakening to the opportunity online. Now more people are being aware that, wow, people are making money online. How? There's many other things online that you could do now. There's forex marketing. There's so many other things that people are just like, wow, uh, I should start doing this and that because now people are sharing it more, especially on social media. And now is the time. Now is the time. And there's gonna be a period from the next 5 to 10 to 20 years that it's gonna be even a lot harder online. But right now is definitely the time. The next 5 years is gonna be the most. If you take advantage of it, it's gonna be a great for the next 5 years.
Yeah, we're definitely in a time where technology is kind of taken over, and it can be a positive thing for a lot of people, and some people are viewing it as negative because they think it's taking away from, being in the moment, and people go out to dinner and they're just on their phone the whole time. But I think it's really important to have a healthy combination of being online and being present in the moment. And I think online is just going to be the next big thing. Like you said, it's just going to people are going to realize that this is where they're going to be able to move forward in the direction they want to go. So it's a good point to make. Anne-Marie or Ethan, do you guys have you want to share what your mission is with the group?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Ethan, go for it.
Can you hear me properly?
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, basically, my mission. Well, right now at this point, I live in the small island of Saint Lucia, that's in the Caribbean, and right there, I'm a spoken word and hip hop artist. I wouldn't say I'm anything of a professional yet, but hopefully by God's grace, I might get there. And basically, my mission is basically to encourage people, bring out potential in them, show them that they are greater than than what they normally think that they are. Because a lot of people who I realize they minimize themselves, they bring down themselves, they make themselves think like they cannot reach to a certain potential, and that's a lot of stuff that's going on in St. Lucia. A lot of people are afraid to reach for their goals. A lot of people are afraid to take initiative because they believe that because of the economy and because of finance and everything that's going on, like they won't have the potential to reach that far. So what I do a lot in my poetry and what I do a lot in my songs is that I try to show people like they have the power, they have the reach to actually get these things, to actually make it a reality. And basically when I've been listening to you guys talk and most of your stories, and I think Eric, when he mentioned many times, you are in charge of your own life and what you make, no matter what happens, you are the one who's in charge. Jerry, I think a few weeks before he said that, I wrote a poem, and there's a quote that I wrote in it, and it goes, "You're the king of your own jungle." Basically meaning that your life is basically like a jungle. It's wild. Crazy stuff will happen in it. Crazy stuff. You might get tangled up in a bunch of crazy stuff. Everything will come at you from left and right. But you're the king of your own jungle. You have to make yourself fearless in this life and basically stay in the eyes of the demon every day that you get up and realize that you have to be fearless and you have to gain, you have to reach out and you have to grab your passion and you have to run with it. So that's basically it for me. Um, so yeah.
That's great, Ethan. I
Awesome.
love that. Face fear with action. Absolutely. Face every day. Obviously, challenges you're going to face every single day, some bigger than others, and some will last longer times than others. But I think it is important that action that keeps coming up. And I like the theme here that, most of the people that have a really vivid mission in their life and they're really laser focused on that, it's about serving others and using our stories. And it's been a common theme with the missions that have been shared so far is we want to help other people see it in themselves that they have the power to do great things. So I think that's it says a lot about the group that we're a part of, and the company that we're a part of, and I think that's great. So last but certainly not least, Emery, you got anything to share?
Oh, sure.
Awesome.
Basically, I want to help people love themselves more, to know that they deserve the best. So I have my own little inspirational quote that says, "You're the star of your life. Never stop shining." Basically, you deserve the best. Your dreams can come true if you work hard enough. You deserve the best. You have to just know how to go out and, get your dreams. So now I'm just learning from you guys how to, go after my mission and get steps to take.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. I think it's awesome to know that you want to help other people know that they deserve the best, because I think sometimes the challenge with some people that are just on the verge of finding their mission or finding their passion or knowing that they can do great things is thinking that they can deserve it, because some people think whatever their story is, whatever the challenges that they went through in their past life, they think somehow it says something about what you deserve for the future. So say somebody grew up in a poverty-stricken area where they weren't given a lot of opportunities to make money or grow in the financial sense, but then they discover that they can create opportunities for themselves, and like we talked about with the online opportunities, things like that. Yeah, so you just never know. You can learn from your past, but you can't base your future and think that your future is going to be the same as your past, because like I said earlier, if you look at where you are today, it doesn't seem like much changes every day, but when you look back at who you were before, so many things are different. It's just crazy to think about it that way. So I think that's huge. Those are great missions. Selfless missions is the common theme. We want to help other people by living out our passion and showing them the way, leading by example,
Right.
which I think is another big key to it as well. So thank you all for sharing. If anybody else, do you have anything else to share, guys?
It comes down to never settling for less than you can be. Why not do better when you're capable of doing, especially about the opportunity, instead of just wasting time going home after work and watching TV or watching a movie or stuff like that. You could use that time in productive time into working in your dream, into working for the mission that you truly want, and actually thinking about forward, like, okay, this is actually what I wanted to do, not just being stuck at a job and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's important for you to find that purpose that you truly want to do in your life.
Yeah, and I think you just reminded me of David Wood. I listen to a lot of his Inner Circle talks as one of the products that we have, and one of the things that he shared that really spoke to me was, if you do these small things every single day, and the example that he gave was listening to an instructional audio about personal development or something along those lines. If you do that every single day instead of listening to music, and I know that Dario shares this all the time, if you do this every day for the next year or the next 2 years, the next 5 years, you won't recognize the person that you become in the future. You don't even know what you're capable of at this point because of the person that you're going to grow to become. So I think that's huge. And David Wood, if you get a chance to, what I'm going to talk about at the end here is just to wrap things up, is the live stream event. And if David Wood is speaking, you just gotta get a ticket to the live stream event, because he is just this incredible energy that even on camera can impact you in a way that you might not have been impacted before. And if you have any of the Empower products that you can watch videos from him or listen to audios by him, he's just an incredible human being, and he wants to help other people. And he has this great big vision that, like Eric was sharing before, it can fit all the people's visions in his team. His big vision can fit all those other visions. So I think that's just a really cool concept. How if you make one small change, doesn't matter If it's listening to an audio or reading books or doing something along those lines every single day instead of doing something else that wasn't really helping you, you're going to just see a huge difference in the future. So I think that's huge. To wrap things up, if you are already going to Eric's, well, it's not really Eric's, it's our team's mastermind group event in February. It's the 14th. I don't remember the dates now exactly, but if you have already signed up, you have a chance to purchase the live stream ticket for a huge discounted price, because what Eric's willing to do is give back the commissions that he would make when you purchase a ticket. So the ticket costs $297. So you basically just buy the ticket for $297 yourself, and then Eric would send you the $207, the commission that he would get from that purchase. So it only costs you $89. And the cool thing about the live stream, I think I got an email about this the other day, you actually get the recordings for that price too. So if you can't, if you miss part of the live stream, you can always go back and watch it again because you have the recordings too. So purchase your live stream ticket if you're already coming to our Live the Movie Crew Mastermind event coming in February. And if you haven't signed up for that event yet, but you purchased your black card, if you upgraded to your black card membership, you also have the ability to get the discounted price for the live stream event as well. So that's exciting. And then for the mastermind itself, I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait to purchase my flight for this mastermind event. I'm so excited to get together with everybody just to,
Yay.
mastermind. Yeah, so I'm just really pumped to meet everybody and just spend time with like-minded people who can really help me grow, and I can help them grow, and it's just going to be an awesome event. I'm so excited. So if you want more information on that, if you haven't signed up yet, go to ericlivethemoviecrew.com/Greenville Mastermind. So once again, that's ericlivethemoviecrew.com/Greenville Mastermind, and you can get more information on that. And if you have watched this video today, this Hangout today, and part of you is wondering if it's a good idea to join Empower Network or be a part of the online thing that we're doing, I would say give it a chance and ask your sponsor, ask who you're following for more information, because this could be the game changer. This could be the decision you make that could impact your entire future. So it has for me. I know it has for a lot of other people on our team. They can vouch for that. So I think it's just, reaching out, putting yourself out there, having a vision, having a mission, and going after it with all you got. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys have anything to add, great. If not, I'll say goodnight.
Well, I'll share. Okay, I'll share a few more things before we leave. We were talking about doing the little things, in your daily routine for you to make a change, basically, right? I'll share the 4 things that I did to unlock momentum, basically. Your habits cannot be deleted. Your bad habits cannot be deleted. They can only be replaced with good ones. So I recommend you. If it's reading a book or if it's listening to an audiobook, you could YouTube it. You can go on YouTube. You could just, it's so easy. It's so easy to just go on YouTube and search for motivational stuff, or actually books that you could actually find on YouTube for free. So if you could do that, follow that. So we got habits. Follow that with discipline. Be disciplined to those habits, right? Follow that with routines, making that every single day, and follow that with consistency. So we got habits. Follow that with discipline. Follow that with your routines, and follow that with consistency. That's the best way to unlock momentum for you to create great momentum onto achieving what you want to do every single day.
Yeah,
and
that's great. I mean, I can share one example with that, is just as far as living a healthy lifestyle. If you want to, for example, lose weight or just become healthier and more fit, that's not going to be something that you can do for a week and then stop, or do for a year and then stop. It's something that's an ongoing process that you have to stay consistent with, and it's about routine. And what gives us the freedom to succeed at a high level is having a routine in place that you follow strictly and you're disciplined strictly with every single day. Because for some of us that, what I struggled with before with the freedom that, quitting my corporate job gave me, it was like, oh, I have all this time. I have all this time to do whatever I want. But in reality, creating a routine that I can stick with that brings me closer to my goal, the ultimate goal that I have, creating a routine is going to help me with that. It's not about being free and just doing whatever I want every day and watching TV all day and doing whatever whatever I have on my mind. It's about having a routine and sticking to it. So I think that's having the discipline is one of the things that can help you grow and staying
Absolutely.
consistent with something. So that's a good point.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining, guys. Ethan, did you have something else that you wanted to share?
No, I just wanted to say good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for your contribution. You guys were great. I really appreciate you guys jumping in and being put on the spot, because I think one of the things that's really important is to not only have a mission, but to share it with other people, because the more you share it, the more clear it's going to be to you what you really want in life. So that's great. So that is all we have for tonight. We will see you guys next week. I hope you guys have an awesome week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
You too. Take care. All right, everyone.
Bye.